G'day guys, how's it going? All right, in this video we have got Full Pelt Pete's T700. Now, as you know, I'm looking at trying to get another bike, a step up from the DR650, so that we can do the long distance riding with nay on the back. But can the T700 replace in total my DR650 and Harry my Boulevard C50 and be the one bike that does everything? For me, could this be the unicorn? Let's check it out. Rightio, first things first guys, let's see how I can maneuver this bike. Now this bike feels, just holding it here, very similar to the Africa Twin, as in size wise, you know, same deal. I could maneuver around, but you definitely feel the weight difference between the DR650 and these, you know, these bigger bikes. So cool, not a problem. Let's see how we, now Pete has actually got the lowered seat on this. Righto, oopah. So straight away, this is even lower than what the Africa Twin is. I've got more of a bend in there. But remember, this has got a lowered seat on it. So even if it had the higher seat, remember I'm 6 foot tall, I've got a big inseam. Right, so now we've got to remember that the Africa Twin is obviously 1000cc. This is only 700cc. So stepping up from a DR650, so it's 650cc to a 700, it's not a big jump. That's why I liked the Africa Twin, apart from obviously the aesthetics of it and the looks. I love the look of the T700. I think everybody does. But I believe, I don't know what the horsepowers and all that, this is gonna, I know, I've raced with Pete, and this thing just leaves the DR650 behind in its bloody dust. Now, I don't care about the race or the horsepower, all that from a racing point. I could give two hoots who gets off the line or any of that. It's all about being on the highway and not feeling like you know, you're revving the absolute, you know, you're running on the red line just trying to be on 110 k's an hour type of thing. How does this fare on the highway compared to an Africa Twin? Is it going to be comparable? And then in the gnarlier stuff, how does this compare to the DR650? Could I use this one bike to replace Harry the Boulevard, which is great for cruising, putting nay on the back, but what about the off-road stuff? Let's get out on the tracks. Rightio guys, so we are now out at the proving ground. I just noticed there's a couple of cars, so there'll be some walkers around here. I'll just be careful, but this is the slow. I'm gonna do slower than what I normally do. I've ridden this bike before, but you know, I haven't just on a trail. So, but I don't know. This is more confidence inspiring than the Africa Twin. But like I was saying with that the Africa Twin, you know, it was bloody no worries at all. This is a lot better to stand up on ergonomics wise than the Africa Twin. Yeah, comparing this to the DR650, well, you know, this is an upgrade, a modern upgrade that, geez, that does that better than the DR650, wow. So I'm basically running the same route what I did with the Africa Twin. Sorry if I keep saying Africa Twin when this is the T700, but this series of videos is all about, you know, the different bikes. Now remember, I came here and I just slowed right down, did a tight corner, round we go. Then there's this steep bit, just take the middle steepest, like just
I'm not even having to throttle it. There's all these lumpy bumpies. You go, oh geez, whatever. Like, I'm not, even at these low speeds, I'm not having a problem. Whoops. Up and over. You know, with the weight. It's only when you, sorry, I've got this big arm thing on that camera and it's bloody fallen. What am I saying? It's only when you're on steep things and you got rock ledges that you're going to come unstuck. And I get less unstuck. Oh, gee, that's all, whoa, that's all, whoa. Wow, that's, look at that mud. Sorry, Peter, just got your bloody bike dirty. Yeah, I have the height. Yeah, to get the flat feet, which can, you know, help me out tremendously. You know, so anybody that, you know, has the short legs and rides these bikes, you know, you've got to have, you've got more skill than me. My tallness makes up for that, the less, what do you call it, skill, if you know what I mean. So my hat off to you shorter guys. Up and over and around. Cool. So look, T700, you know, not as confident as a DR650, purely because the DR650, you can drop it and, you know, not worry about breaking bits and pieces in the sense that it's going to cost you a lot of money. That point of view, and of course, you know, obviously the DR650 is a little bit light, is lighter, obviously. I was talking about the last time I rode this bike. Actually, hang on. Oh, I really got to fix that. Wow, that mud is so slippery. You just go in it, the whole bike just goes like that. What the hell was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. Whoop. Oh, well, here you go. Cool. So I'm not going to go in there because that looks like a four-wheel drive that's just done heaps of running around. So I've got to get down from this without dropping the bike. Let's just manage it down. Or let's just see if I can get... Oh, apparently I stalled it. So out with the clutch a little bit till it grabs. Throttle off the brake. Itch it around. We'll go out down this way. Oh. Trying not that. Oh. Shouldn't go through here, but I had to get myself out of the shit. Right, cool. That was good. So that was a you know, a little hairy thing. You go, oh no, can I do that? Yes, I can on the T700. No problem. Oh, me bloody my hips are cramping. So on this, I would want to get lowered pegs. Oh, I know what I was saying. When I've ridden this before, I felt like I was missing the rawness in the engine and the, you know, the bit of this going on and grunt and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the African Twin seemed to have that. Now he had a slip-on pipe, and the sound that came out of that was absolutely awesome. So the T700's missing that. I wonder whether if it had the, you know, louder pipe, whether that would trick me into saying, oh yeah, it's got that rawness to it. Because this bike is super smooth. Gear changes, it's very linear in its power, and that's what I didn't like. But riding it at the moment, I'm not really feeling it like that. But the last time I rode it was that I jumped off, we swapped bikes, so I came straight off max, so that might have been the difference then too. Cool, right, Big Sister Alley. Rightio guys, so now we're on Big Sister Alley. It's already popping in my head that I could replace Max with this bike and do the stuff that I normally would on Max. I don't think that would be a problem. And we're talking about the weight. That's the only issue, is the more weight. Yeah, I think we're looking at more than likely about an extra 40 kilograms on this bike. And I'm going, not a problem. I'd be happy to ride this where I ride Max, with the exception of little ruddy ruts. With the expense of, breaking things when I come off, and I do come off. That's part of, doing those particular tracks and stuff, where it's, a bit more challenging and you like to challenge yourself. I would say that the suspension on this, compared to the Africa Twin, is that it's harder set up. It's got a harder setup on it. I didn't muck around with the settings on that AT, so got to keep moving you guys up. I'm sure you could stiffen up the suspension on the AT. People that have an AT will be most probably commenting right now saying, yes, Mark, you can do all that. Yeah, so I can just there, powering it on to get up this stuff, you lose that the raw power feeling. It's got all the power, it's got more power than a DR, but because it's so smooth, I lose that sensation, and I like that sensation. But with a different muffler, that might just be what it is. Righto, so we're going to do the twisties. I'll see you there. So far, this is like the, it just falls in, falls around. I think I was more impressed on the AT. I don't know why. Maybe because I felt the AT, so now, I was expecting more. That's all right. I keep getting feedback. I feel like feedback in that foot pedal. The foot brake. Righto. Yeah, that's crazy. Same as the AT. Even though this is only 700, not 1000. I'm so used to being on the DR650, and you're always looking for that 6th gear. It's just a habit. You go, am I still in another one? No, damn it, that's the one. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, on this one you got that 6th gear, which you don't feel like you need. But I went, I wonder if there's another gear, and hey presto, there was another one. I'm not going to go do that road down there. Just because I want to keep this fairly short. So right, that's cool. Let's we'll head to another spot. We'll just do a bit faster riding on the dirt. We'll do the rock bit as well. Righto, see you there. Rightio, so we'll get some good little runs up through here. Just to get a bit more of that. What am I in third? Turn your blinker off, Mark. And I think, like the AT, in the gear selection, it is forgiving. Second, real lumpy bumpy. It's not going to be great for this bloody camera on the pole. So what I'm doing, 28 in second, and I can pout, yeah, no worries. So yeah, cool. Definitely, I could use the T700 like I used Max, the DR650, no problems whatsoever. Which is a little surprising, I suppose. I kind of felt like it would be a little bit more. Obviously, I'm not going into the gnarly stuff, it's not my bike. When I really get into the gnarly stuff, there would be most probably a difference between the DR650 and this. But as you know, most of you guys, you know, you've seen Josh on his T700 Mary Valley dirt bike riders, and he throws that thing around and he does the gnarly stuff. So, you know, it's bloody doable. It's quite surprising. It's got me bloody thinking. It will all depend on how Nay is going to go on the back and how comfortable, because remember, this is all about having a bike for doing the long stuff. I already can tell that, you know, it's going to do the highway stuff much better than Max. There's no two ways about that. Righto, so find this little bloody drop off here. Boom. Whee. What is that? I don't know what it is. I'm just, sometimes when I press the brake, it's like there's something there that hits it, or you get a little bit of feedback on it. Righto, rocks. Let's just, I mean, oh yeah, okay, geez, oh. Go around on the rockadoos. I had to put my foot down back there. So I did this on the on the AT. Basically came here, whoop, and then ran, righto, let's back it around on these rocks. I think I did it a whole lot. I'm bloody tippy-toeing there. Right, cool. So there you go, guys. T700. It will definitely replace Max, the DR650. From a cruising point on the highway as a single person, you know, this is going to be as good, well, not as good. Harry is a lounge chair, but I'm not looking at it from that point, Mark, for Christ's sake. You will cruise better. I could do long distances on this and be a lot more comfortable, but let's find out what Nay thinks. Rightio guys, so that's it. T700 is back in the garage. Righto, let's have just a quick chat.
Right, oh, the dilemma, guys. And this is the dilemma that we have. So yes, the T700 I could ride like I do with Max, with most probably the exception of some of the gnarlier stuff, like doing the Simpson Desert. I could do that on Max, no worries at all. Can I do that on a T700 knowing that extra 40 kilograms of weight that I've got to push up? You know, there's a certain limit of weight because obviously you're going to be all packed up. And in the Simpson Desert, I don't know how many times I picked up Max. Yeah, so that's the other thing, is that's where that weight comes in. It depends on what you want to use that machine for. It's going to do the highways way better than a DR650. It's a modern bike. It's, you know, it's got the electronic fuel injection. You press the button, it starts up. Doesn't matter whether it's been sitting there for a month, boom, away it goes. It's, yeah, there's lots about it. The T700 is very simple, but comparing it to the DR650 to work on and do stuff, the T700, you know, like, just changing one of the spark plugs, you've got to have a special tool, and just doing anything on it can be a lot harder or more expensive than working on a DR650. So there's those aspects. If you don't, you know, if you're just going to take it to the mechanic and get all those jobs done, bloody no problems whatsoever. I highly doubt that you're going to have some issues out in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's a tried and tested bloody bike now, I think. It's just the longevity of stuff, I suppose. So, because I'm thinking, oh yeah, would I get the T700 and then do I then go down to a fucking Honda 300 whatever, or a bloody, I'm trying to think, a DRZ400, you know, go down and make those gnarlier stuff a lot easier than the DR650. Now I've got two bikes again. Or get an Africa Twin where it's more, you know, more on-road than off-road, because I don't think you'd do an Africa Twin on the Simpson or something like that, and have the smaller bike for doing the real gnarly stuff. And that's the thing, it all depends on what you're going to be doing with the bike. You know, the unicorn that everybody talks about is never going to happen until they invent the transformer bike, where, you know, you press a button and it turns it into a lightweight, oomphy bike that's going to get you through whatever. You press another button, it adds the weight back on, so that when you're on the highway, you're cruising down, you got heaps of, you know, high-end torque and all that kind of stuff. That ain't going to happen. So it'd be interesting to talk to, so we know the T700 is going to do everything, because Josh from Mary Valley Dirt Bike Riders channel throws that bike around. He does stuff that on the T700 that I do on the DR650 Max, and I'd be going, holy shit, you know, can I do this type of stuff? He's a very confident rider, and yeah, that shows on that T700. Brendan from Nerb One channel, he did the little desert on the T700. Yeah, it's hard. Any bike in the sand, it's hard work, apart from those people that go, oh, no, it's just fun. Sand is hard work. So it'd be interesting to actually personally chat with Brendan and just ask him what his thoughts. See, the problem with Brendan is that he's always been on the big bikes and he's actually come down. So for him, I think he's just going to go, oh man, it's just so much easier. But if he was on a smaller bike going up to the T700, how would he then say about that? So that would be interesting. I don't know whether Nerb's, you know, ridden the smaller bike. I'm sure he has, you know, he's, yeah, whatever. There you go, guys. A conundrum to be had. So next thing we've got to do is see what Nay thinks about being on the back of that. I'll do that in another video. Cool. Righto. Remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.